For this Basecamp adventure, we visit the beautiful pastoral county of Shropshire, where the hills are described as unspoiled, tranquil and inspiring. A landscape which has been fought over for centuries, where we retrace the footsteps of our ancestors to discover the ramparts of Iron Age hill forts. Encountering the oldest pedigree breed of sheep in England and close encounters with unforeseen inhabitants too. Transitioning from a lifetime of diesel engines, this adventure brings along something new. Join us as we combine the discovery of beautiful landscapes with our first experiences of towing with Petrol Hybrid technologies. For this weekend adventure, we pitch up at the Cartref Caravan site. Cartref, which is the Welsh word for home, is an award-winning adults-only site nestled in the Shropshire countryside. The pitches are hard-standing, fully serviced and completely level. The surrounding hedgerows not only provide privacy but also an important habitat for wildlife such as hedgehogs. On site there is a uniquely styled bar with cosy log burning stove as its centrepiece. The on-site facilities block is excellent, with a classic layout, heated and was kept completely pristine. Finally, there is that all-important surrounding dog walk. Our new tow car is the Audi A3 40 TFSIe Petrol Hybrid, complete with a towing capacity of 1,400 kilos. Under the bonnet, a 1.4 litre turbocharged engine serves as the combustion, with the electric drive powered by a small 13 kilowatt-hour battery. When towing the caravan, I drive the A3 in hybrid mode, dividing the work intelligently between the two drives. Then recharging the battery from the engine when away from the campsite on adventures. With a torque of 258 pounds-per-feet, the car pulls the caravan effortlessly at speed, despite the strong headwinds on the day. This was also the case when I trialled the battery charge function, moving the load to the combustion engine alone. Pulling away from junctions, the car automatically selects the electric motor, propelling the combined weight quickly to speed before the engine engages to share the work. The drive is very comforting, even when I took that wrong turn along a scary single-track B road. Finally, arriving to my allocated pitch with sufficient power remaining in the battery for the electric motor to power the reversing manoeuvre, placing the caravan squarely on the pitch. So first time pulling the Basecamp with a 1.4 petrol hybrid. Let's have a look at the scores on the doors. So just in the Audi app here, fuel tank level is at 90%. To only use 10% of the petrol in the tank. It was a full tank before I left. I think that's pretty good. The charge level in the battery is down to 1%, so it's as good as depleted. So I drove 44 miles, pulling a ton, and the battery supported the engine for 44 miles. I think that's pretty good. If we're going to driving data, there's the journey. So 36.7 miles to the gallon on average. That's driving on urban road, B roads, A roads. And it's saying that the consumption of the electric motor was 20.8 kilowatt hours of energy per 100 miles of driving. Right now, I don't know if that's good or bad because I've only ever had diesel engines, but I'm sure I will learn what that means as time goes by. So I think that's a reasonable performance from the hybrid. The acid test, of course, will be when I go on the longer journeys to the Yorkshire Dales, Lake District, Scotland and stuff like that.
Stepping from the gates of Cartref is taking a step into the Shropshire countryside, where the locals are inquisitive, friendly and arrive en masse. Miles of footpaths reveal mighty oak trees patiently awaiting for spring, whilst the fields provide sniffing heaven for cocker spaniels.
So we're back from our walk through the countryside. Lovely little walk that was, direct from the campsite. I've just fed the dog. Yeah, she'll won't get much out of her for the next hour or so. And then the plan is going to chill out for a bit, and then in an hour or so we're going to head to the local bar on site and try one of their pizzas and one of the local ales that they've got on. So it's the first night, very peaceful here. And I look to the bed and what do I see? I find the dog's on a sleeping bag. I've outsmarted her because I haven't brought my usual sleeping bag. That's my Zembivvy sleeping quilt. It's like a hybrid between a quilt and a sleeping bag that I use for tent camping. She's like, what on earth's that? So she's on her sleeping bag. Let's see how long she stays there for. Well, it's an early start this morning in the base camp. We've got a 8.7 mile hike. We're going to drive across to the Lawley. That's the start of our hike there. We've got 3 peaks on this hike, so it's not the 3 peaks, it's just 3 peaks on this hike, starting with the Lawley. It's a spine back ridge, looks quite impressive, and the main attraction on this hike is Caer Caradoc, which is the Welsh word for Caradoc fort. So we must step across the Welsh border there. There's the remains of an Iron Age fort up there. I'm not expecting to find much of the monument, but it would be good to have a look at that. It's a walk that I've wanted to do, and then we'll hike then across to Hope Bowdler Hill. That's 1400 feet, and then make our way back to where we started. So that's 8.7 miles, 5.5 hours ish that will take us. The dog isn't looking like she's got a 9-mile hike in the Shropshire Hills in her at the moment. I'm sure the crackle of that bacon will soon get her enthusiastic.
The Lawley is a sleek and slender member of the Shropshire Hills, the first in the northeast to southwest fault line. A popular hill for walking, teasing visitors with 4 false summits, each offering better views than the previous. An unexpected native to the Lawley are the Highland Cattle, owned and reared by a local farm who introduced 3 heifers in 2015, now have a herd of nearly 60 cows. As we cross the summit, the rolling hulk of the iconic Caer Caradoc fills the landscape, taking us step by step closer to the Iron Age fort we came to see. The iconic landmark was the location for the Battle of Caer Caradoc, the final fight to the resistance of Roman rule. It's hard to imagine how such a fortress was constructed and supplied via the surrounding sheer natural rock faces. Today, commanding outstanding views, we enjoy a more sombre experience, eating our lunch with uninterrupted views of the Lawley. So we're back in the base camp. Just got back from that fantastic walk in the Shropshire Hills. The dog is done and dusted. I doubt I'll get much out of her now for the rest of the night. It was a strenuous walk, that big hills, bitterly cold wind. The dog ran the whole lot. So the plan for this evening, got the water on there, just going to have a shower very shortly. It's probably ready now, jump in the shower. And after a cold hike in the hills, there's only one thing for it, and that is, let's get the Irish stew on. Irish stew for tea. Get that in the pan and in the fridge there. Yeah, at the bottom there I've got some vegetables to go with it. We'll have that. And then we'll get a bit of Netflix on. And the dog can sleep through a couple of films. Oh, it's been fantastic yet again.
I'm not careless with the truth. They were brothers, but bound by more than blood. They were twins as well. Counterparts.
The Shropshire Hills are a tranquil place with a patchwork quilt draped over its countryside. The transition from a lifetime of diesel engines to a petrol hybrid was a battle of the mindset. Yet, first impressions would indicate concerns have been unfounded. Finally, Cartref may possibly be the most peaceful touring park we have stayed on. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on another adventure sometime very soon.